Congressman Tony Gonzales. Congressman, we were texting a few minutes ago. You've been watching our coverage. When you look at what's happening there again today, after 10,000 people plus came across the border yesterday, what do you say to Karine Jean-Pierre, who said that says that this president has taken historic action to address this crisis?
You know, probably, John, thank you for having me on. And probably the most pointed response I could tell her is, if you continue down this route, you are going to lose. You are going to lose the election in 2024. The reason I say that is because this administration thinks this crisis is a political problem, not a policy problem. So if they want to go down this route, they're going to lose the White House. In the meantime, you know, I represent these images that we see. The part that they don't understand is the city of Eagle Pass has received zero federal dollars from the White House. These millions of dollars are going to New York City, and all these sanctuary cities are getting all this money for a handful of migrants that go there and turn their cities upside down. Meanwhile, this little town on the border of Texas gets absolutely nothing. So it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. But they're not only they're hurting real people, they're going to lose the election.
Well, Congressman, thank you very much for joining us and jumping on the phone as we continue to look at these pictures. As Bill Malugin just noted, the mayor of Eagle Pass, where we're watching all these migrants come in, is a Democrat. I mean, you've got Democrats in New York. They're crying for help, singing the blues. They're saying, we can't have any more in this city. We can't handle it. Governor Hochul, Democrat. Mayor Adams, Democrat. I mean, you're hearing from more within the Democratic Party to stop this. Will the White House listen?
I hope they do. You know, Eagle Pass, Maverick County is some of the bluest part of the district in which I represent. And I'm the only Republican that has ever won that county in 200 plus years. And the way the people that live there, they don't view it through a red or blue lens. They just want people to help and make this stop. It doesn't take a genius to look at the images and go, this is wrong. When they pull a baby, a lifeless baby out of the water, how does that not break your heart? But you have these folks in the White House just that think it's a political problem. The other part I'd say is, you know, this TPS extension that they did for the Venezuelans, all that does is make the problem worse. I've been an advocate, a staunch advocate for legal immigration, for legal pathways, for people to come over and work and do it the right way. And the administration has been an advocate for illegal immigration, and it impacts everybody in a negative way, and it's dangerous.
You know, Congressman, when you and I were texting earlier, we had been talking about the economic aspect of this in terms of New York State wanting to expedite work permits for people who were in the city illegally because they can't keep up with providing social services on the taxpayer dime. So they've got to let these people, they think, make a living themselves to take some of the burden off of the state and off of the city. But the suggestion from you is that that's just going to make the situation worse because people, whether it be in the Western Hemisphere or whether it be in the eastern part of Africa or the western part of Africa or other parts of sub-Saharan Africa where we're seeing migrants come in from, say, whoa, the cash register is open, let's go to the United States.
That's it, John. I mean, in what universe do we live in where people that break the law and come over illegally are rewarded and those that are trying to follow the rules are punished? What is the solution? The solution, think back 2 years ago in Del Rio. The solution was you enforce the laws that are already on the books. If people do not qualify for asylum, you send them back to their country of origin. Until the administration does that, we're only going to see this crisis become as bad as we've ever seen it.
You wonder how governments can regain control and start to tax these people. I mean, the New York Post today is writing about the unlawful economy that is exploding in New York City right now, Congressman.
No, that's exactly right. And what about the Border Patrol agents? You know, a lot of images are on Eagle Pass, but right next to that is Kinney County and Medina County. I was speaking with the judge, and I was speaking with one of the Sheriff Randy Brown from Medina County. They're getting crushed. So it's not just this one image here that is very powerful, but it's the entire area. And you've got everyday Americans that are going, hey, what about us? We don't feel safe. I did a teletown hall yesterday in El Paso, which is 800 miles away. I had a constituent call in and say, hey, look, they're releasing people in the street. You know, I'm a veteran and I work for the police department. I don't feel safe. So I know these images are in Texas today, but we're already seeing what's happening in New York. It's California next. It's Chicago. It's the small little towns as well. We have to stop this. I think part of it stops with the finger pointing. Everyone's to blame, but the White House certainly can't just punt the ball. How do we solve this problem? We do it by increasing the number of Border Patrol agents and enforcing the laws. If they don't qualify for asylum, send them back. I understand Venezuela, we don't have an agreement with it. Where is the State Department in this equation? Where is Secretary Blinken? Instead of talking about other issues, he needs to go to Venezuela or Colombia and work out an agreement where maybe they don't go back to Venezuela, but maybe they go to Panama or Colombia, a third country. This is how you solve real problems. Until they take that level of interest in this, you're only going to see it get worse, and they're going to get their butts kicked in the 2024 election.
Congressman, you've been watching along with us as we've been following this group of illegal migrants as they crossed the Rio Grande. They crawled underneath the concertina wire. They were apprehended by the Border Patrol, and now they're in an area where they're now being processed. And our intrepid Hillary Vaughn, who is just fantastic at bird-dogging Democrats on very touchy issues, got a quote from Debbie Wasserman Schultz when she asked her about the situation on the border. Your colleague from Florida said, what you see is different than what happens in actuality. What do you make of that?
I mean, she is partly right, because if you're on the ground, you can. What you don't see is you don't see the smells. You don't see the frustration on the Border Patrol agents' faces. You don't see the direness of the people that are there. It's all sad. I mean, just even looking at the images, small little children running around, having to wade through the water. That's the part that you don't see. So it's actually worse. I would say she's onto something. It's actually worse than what you see on TV. Not that it's the other way. And Bill's been covering it. Fox has done an amazing job of covering it. But when you're on the ground, you cannot unsee some of these images or some of the smells, in some of these facilities.
All right. So I guess we should put that down as don't believe your lion eyes, because they're not giving you the full sensory experience.
That's it.
All right.
All right, Congressman, appreciate you jumping on with us.
Thanks, Congressman. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, John.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.